let me explain this differently. So whenever we look at the meta of moves, or whenever we look at the overarching piece, like I asked you a very specific question, and that was, okay, why this trade? Like, what you're trying to take these longs and these shorts and all these positions, and I'm, the first question I ask is, okay, well, what's your justification of that trade? So that's something where you immediately went to justify internal pieces. So your process is broken from zero, because whenever we look at trades and whatever we're talking about, okay, I need to take a re-entry, I need to look for a second spot to enter this trade. Like, we have to build that from the outlying most component. And so there's kind of like this interesting thing that happens where the outlying most component could sometimes be a daily, it could sometimes be an hourly. So having that accuracy in identifying the outlying most component is super important. So when I'm asking you, hey, what's your justification for this trade? I want you to start with the deepest level you have and build the architecture from there, because you are way too internal on these moves. You're going to 5-minute candles because they're bouncing 15-minute origins, and like, I feel like there's a disconnect there. So what I want you to do is, you have a 4-hour level on your screen, which is 27,822. Okay, so let's go look at that level, because I think that's an important piece of this puzzle here. So go to where the level's created. 27,822. You have to go to 27,822. You're making the same mistake. You're looking way too internal. Your eyes keep going to 28,230. You're looking so internal, you're not even hearing the level I'm talking about. So
I'm sorry. Yeah, come again.
It's okay. No, you're good. This is a common problem that people have. They tunnel vision in a way. So 27,822. So that is where, yes, that is where we build architecture from, in order to understand what reentry could be. Now, I want you to do something else for me, because I have an inclination that you've broken your process already. Go to your daily for me, because you're getting into a habit of moving up time frames. So we actually have a daily break level there. So that's important. So we need to mark the daily break level here, which could potentially be an origin in the future. So this is what you're always going to do, is you're always going to start this process with the highest time frame. Now go to your 4-hour and let's take a look. Is it part of the same valley, or is it disconnected? Yeah, it's actually part of the same valley. So actually we delete the 4-hour here, because it's part of the same move. If that was separated by a blue candle, then we would use the 4. So 2 candles before that, you can mark that. So go to the break level 2 candles before. You could mark this. That doesn't get hit, so it's actually not the correct level. So you see where that disconnect can actually give you your accuracy. Now what you need to do is, now, in order to understand re-entry scenarios, you now need to go to your 4-hour chart, because you need to build your architecture this way, and you need to delete that yellow line there, because that's not important right now. I mean, you can keep it in case we bounce it again, but at this point it'll also be creating the daily, so it won't even matter anyways. So now let's go to the 4-hour.
Yep, I'm at the 4.
So now that we're on the 4-hour, we don't really have any architecture we can use here other than that hold level and possibly a 4-hour break. So what I would like to do here is mark that 4-hour break level. Not this one, the one above it. So the one that would move us up. So the one that could create, yes, exactly. And I want to see this other level deleted here, which is the, yeah, you can delete that one. You can delete, no, keep that weekly. That's fine. Delete that other yellow level right underneath. Yeah, you can delete. I would even delete all of that stuff. Yeah, just delete it all. Because like, we're now going to build the architecture properly. So now we can see that we're on a daily time frame. We have a 4-hour, which is your +1 -1 to the time frame. So now you have a holdout. So what I want you to do is, I want you to mark that blue candle beside you. The top of the blue candle. No, the one next to the current candle. Yeah, that right there. So this is what you would need to get over, kind of. No, we want to mark that as a 4, not a 1.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
4.
Yeah, and that's to say, if we turn a white candle here, it could get over that and use it as support. If it would go and test 28,322, we could use that as support. It could test 28,054 and get over it. So at least we're building architecture now. When we're talking about re-entry scenarios, at least from this point, we're now building something where we're moving down in time frame. So now go to the hourly for me. So if I need to develop a 4-hour candle, one of the first things I'm going to need to do is start developing. Yeah, you can delete that. You can move it or delete it. We can adjust it or delete. But I would just say delete it for now. So the first thing we need to do here now, after we test this level, so you can take your replayer tool and you can cut it off to where the current candle tested. Sorry, where you tested 27,850. Cut it off there. Yep, perfect. Yep, that's fine. You can go there. Go forward one candle. Now we have the structure of the level that's hit. Now we know we need to build a 4-hour candle, right? And we're not going to have a 4-hour time frame here. So move up one more candle. Sorry. Yep, forward one more candle. Okay, so we have a hold level that's created on the 1-hour time frame. We need to create a 4-hour time frame. So we need to create a 1-hour hold level somewhere that we need to get over top of. So in order to create that 4-hour, we first have to start by creating the 1-hour. So now go forward a candle. We're looking for something that closes over a blue candle. So if you're looking for re-entry here, mark the top of that blue candle for me that just developed. You need to now, in this moment, get over this. Okay, let's go forward a candle. You can move that to the current candle. Yep, you can. You see how it's trying to test that to get over it? You can move it one more to the right. Keep moving it to the right. Yep. Yep, one more. Yeah, keep moving that hold level to the right. So now I think you've closed over an hourly candle. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere with architecture. Now let's go to our 4-hour and start over again. Do we have something that could create? So move that to the 4-hour candle that you need to get over now. So now you have the architecture saying, okay, if this hourly can develop that 4-hour, we have something. So go back to your hourly. So we're using this hold level in order to gain this. So keep going forward now, one candle at a time here. Okay. We haven't hard closed that 4, but we are getting over top of it. So you can go forward one more candle here. And this is where you would start to do things like develop trends. And now you have your hourly hold level being hit. So this would have been your re-entry spot. Like now you have your hourly hold level, it's being hit. Now this is where you should be justifying your moves. So if you go to like a 5-minute chart now, right? This move has had a little bit of development, a 15-minute or a 5-minute. This is where you should be saying like, where are my entries on this trade? Because you've got your hourly and you can see your hourly is developed there. Now you need to start looking at, okay, if this hourly is developed, how do we justify staying in a long here? Go to your 15-minute. That point where that hourly got hit, you need to get over top of that. So you need to now gain a 15-minute candle or you can even attach it to the current candle. Now you need to move forward one candle. Because if you were in a long from this point, this is what allows you to stay in this trade or not. Okay, go forward another candle. And this is probably a point where you would be saying like, oh, should I stay or should I trigger out, right? And you'd have to have that trigger. But your hourly is holding based on that 15-minute. So this is where you're going to get that justification for development, because prior you're looking at 5-minute levels, but you're not building up the architecture to say, okay, we just hit a daily, which means we need to create a 4. You've got your 4-hour level marked. We need to get over top of that to start and closing bigger time frames over top of that 4 if this hourly is going to hold. Or sorry, if this daily is going to hold. So if 27,850 is going to hold, we need to go over top of the 4-hour, which is your yellow line, and we need to start holding over top of that. But before that can happen, we need to also test an hourly and let that hold. So you've tested your hourly now. Now, if this is going to move up, now we have to get over this 4-hour level. So that 4-hour level should be your indication. Should I get in this trade, or should I stay in this trade, or should I leave? If you can't get over that 4-hour level, you need to start saying like, oh, this is a spot where I probably need to take my exit, right? Like I probably need to start thinking about exiting this trade. So if you can't get over that, which right here, go forward one more candle. Let's pretend we're in the trade. Let's see if we can get over it. Yep. Oh, no, we went 2 candles. So as soon as you hit that 4-hour and start to draw down your level, you need to exit that trade, because it's telling you that your hourly is holding an attempt to crawl over that 4, and it hit that 4 and it's pulling back. So that's where you would have exited that trade break even. So your justifications are not lining up. And then also the same thing, if you wanted to short this trade, let's do the same thing, but in reverse. So go back to your 4-hour. We don't have to change the timeframes here. Or we don't have to, sorry, not change the timeframes. We don't have to use the replayer tool. So you have your 4-hour level that you need to get over. And actually this 4-hour level is we can keep that there. Actually rewind that back to like put that level back where it was. Because what we want to do now is we want to look at where the short can be justified. So we know the bigger target on that 4 is the backside valley at 28,332. And we know the local target before this thing started dumping would have been 28,142. So somewhere along this trail, if we know we need to get over this backside, we need to start looking for the hold levels that will not allow that to happen. So go down into your hourly right now. Mark that hourly candle, the inverse. Behind, yep, perfect. And keep going. Keep finding the combo levels. Keep finding the greediest level that would protect you from getting this to be hit. There's a 15-minute backside. You can go there. Front side or backside, either one. Yep.
Yeah. This is
there's your 15-minute level protecting it. Is there anything deeper?
There is one.
No, that's part of the 5-minute backside range.
Yeah,
so no,
yeah,
you wouldn't do that, and it's also hitting the 5-minute front side anyways. It looks like it's hitting all time frames there.
Yeah, there is this origin. I don't know how that is because
not important. Not important. If we need that origin is just going to be a deep dive against that origin would be important if you're trying to long the move, because you would say, let's create the 4-hour break level. You're not going to hit this 4-hour break level on the nose and pull back. You're going to go a little bit past it so that you can say, we've hit the break level. This is the 4-hour origin. This is what's going to break the trade up. So that we're looking at a short only. Like we wouldn't be looking at that level to short the move, because if it hits that level, that means intrinsically we'll end up breaking the move up. So we actually need to find the level that protects that. Like if you're thinking +1, -1, if this 4-hour at 28,332, 2332. If that's the level we need to touch, what protects it and what breaks it. So the level, that 5-minute level that you marked, breaks the move. The current level that you have on your 15-minute, which is also a 5-minute combo to the wick of the front side, that's protecting it from getting hit. So this is your +1, -1 off of that 4-hour. So you found the part of the move that's protecting it, and you found the part of the move that's breaking it. So if you hit that level, that should have been your short target. So your justification earlier was like, oh, there was a 5-minute ladder point, and then that was, gonna break my move and all this stuff. But you need to build that expectation from the outlying information. So when you're talking about re-entry, when you're talking about, hey, there's a trade here, I need to know how to manage it, you need to build the architecture from the highest time frame inwards, so that when you hit these moments, you can say, oh, we're not longing, we're not moving up because we didn't hit the part that would break this move. We actually should be looking for shorts. And then you can start using those same cues and effects as trigger points. So if you were in a long from, say, 28 or 27,850, say you did long that level, and then 28,301 was the point that you could have said, look, if it hits this level, we're probably not moving up and we're probably still moving down. So if we hit that level, I need to find an exit for my long. And if you weren't in a long and you decided to short, that would have also been the perfect level to short, to say, okay, now I need to find the exit for that part of the move. And right now, you're still trying to build your hourly information. So your trigger out of your short, if you were short at 28,301, your trigger would be that current 1-hour hold level. So I want you to move that over. Yes, exactly. Bang. Perfect. So now you would say, okay, that's my trigger out, right? Because once we gain that, we're going to attempt to attack that 4-hour again. So you're going to wash all your profits. So if you're in a short from 28,301 now, you have once in 45 minutes, if this blue candle closes, because we're still 45 minutes out, we could develop another blue candle right now. This might not be the hold level. We need 45 more minutes to see. But if you were in a short, you can now start working back to say, okay, this is the hourly we have to gain. What will protect this hourly from gaining? So now you go to your 15-minute and look for your 15-minute trail. So what I want you to do is, you don't really have any 15s here. You've got kind of that current, you've got like stuff like that. You've got kind of that current local one. Let's try to find a ladder in this move, because it did hit a 15 up top, but it also hit a 5-minute. So maybe there's something on the 5. So let's just, entertain me. Go to the 5-minute mark. Did any of these levels get hit? Like, are we creating any kind of trail? So that didn't get hit. The backside didn't get hit. No. I don't really think we have any trails. So I wouldn't really be looking at, oh, where's the 5-minute level? If this gets hit, like I would only use this 5-minute level here if it was so blatantly obvious that it's like, oh, we hit one 5-minute level, then we laddered another 5-minute level, then we laddered another 5-minute level. I would straight up just use my 28,301 short against the current hourly. So I would, and exactly what's happening right now and why it's rejecting, because it doesn't really have anything else to go after. So I think this is that marquee to say, hey, are we dumping this move or are we going forward more? And then you can also get into trend work. Like you could maybe go to your 15-minute candles. I think 15-minute is the appropriate time frame here. And maybe you could even just like start working with trends here to also see maybe there's a trend that we can like kind of manage this trade on. So maybe there's like a really super localized trend. I'm not sure. I haven't, done this move. We're doing it together for the first time, or maybe it's on the hourly. It could definitely be on the hourly. I think you could use trend work to aid you here. I guess that's what the kind of the purpose would be. It can't be on the 4 hour. It's not possible. Where do you have like a level that got tested? Where was like kind of one of these final levels? So what you want to look for is like, where was the last 15-minute level to get hit? I see it. So it's actually, no, I want you to go left on your charts more. Right in there, right in that area that you're at right now. Yep, left to the charts more.
Okay.
So stop moving your mouse. Go left about 15 candles. Like hover your mouse in and around there. That's where I want you to look. Where were these 15? Where was the final 15-minute tested? So mark a level, put it at the very top. So go back 2 more candles. Yeah, right there. So this one is already tested. So that's fine. So you can put your base point of your trend on that wick, not that one, the one beside it, because we're looking for a range trend here. So we want to put, so where your reach point is, I want you to put your base point. So float that out. Yeah, let's start there.
Where the level got hit.
Yeah. Now let's see what other 15-minute levels got hit. So there was another one. So take your level tool now and move it to the right. Not your trend, your level tool. Yep, move it to the right.
Yeah.
Too far. Oh, you missed one. You missed a whole level in it. Right there. Okay, good. So now we can move the base point to that test. So now we can move our base point again to this test. Now, because what we want to see is where that level stopped getting hit. So I don't think that this level, go to the body, see if it got hit. No, go to the wick, see if it got hit. No. Okay, good. So that's our base point, and where it attempted to reach it, that's our reach point. So now we have base and reach on that move. Right? So now we have base and reach. Let's go up a time frame, make sure there's no interconnection, and I don't think there's going to be. Yeah, so I wanted to see if that current base of the move was the hourly. So could we start on the hourly? We can't, but we kind of can, because look, if you move your hourly candle, did that hourly get hit?
Yeah.
So that one got hit. Good. Move that trail forward now to the next candle. This didn't get hit, but the wick did. So now we can actually move our base point backwards a bit, because we actually have a little bit of a bigger time frame that we can work with. So that's perfect. And I don't think there's a point to do the 4 hour. So move your base point back now.
To the 1 hour?
Yeah. Yep. Perfect.
Okay.
So now we can hard close those 15-minute candles. So what I want you to do is go back to your 15 now and start hard closing those candles. So you could use this as a trend, right? And eventually you're just going to end up at that final white candle. So you can kind of shortcut all this. Yep, you end up at that final white candle.
Actually,
you'd end up there, but really what I want to do is I want to go back and look at the 15. So I want you to mark the range trend back to the 15 and not use this hourly.
Okay.
So I want you to go back to the 15, and I want you to work with the trend there. I always just like to double check all of that work. So now I want you to use this 15 and mark that 15 as it should. And that 15 should hard close to that candle. This is about the only trend I would use in this trade outside of like that hourly level being gained, the one we just had. I would use this trend only as the trigger, because there's nothing else. There's nothing else on this trade, and that connects to the hourly reverse level. So like if you go to your hourly charts now, because we're trying to gain that hourly level, the blue one that you just marked. The only thing I would do here is have that. Yep, that's the blue reverse, and I would take off the yellow line at 28,142, because we've already used that. Keep that one, the one below it, take that off. And I think this is like the better way to look at the charts. You have your trend that could break the move up, that could justify this hourly holding. So you could break this trend, go back down to the current hourly test of that level, and this would be where you could start to use that trend. So, we don't always use trends, but when we're left with no levels like this, we have to start going and saying, where's the reverse levels? Where's the trend work? And then at least we have, it's very close, but at least we have some type of trend to help us guide the move, because we don't really have any 15-minute levels, and we don't really have any 5-minute trails or anything like that. So again, if you were in this short from 28,301, You still have 39 minutes to close this hourly level, so you wouldn't be exiting yet. Trend could test and it could draw the move down as well again, because it could be a range trend that holds this thing down. But there's no real reason to exit this short yet.
Yeah, and this has a hard close here, so still
And
holding the trend in a
I
sense.
wouldn't worry too much about that building architecture up. The first thing you need to do, because you would use that trend to build architecture up. The first thing you need to do is gain that 4-hour level. And you can't gain the 4-hour level until you have a 1-hour hold level that's actually developed. You've tested 301. 301 is telling you your move is going down. You have an hourly hold level here. And then maybe you could go up to the 4-hour. And if this thing holds long enough, you can make a 4-hour hold level, which would suffice for the 27,850. Yep, go to the 4. Maybe you can end up making this. Yeah. Maybe over the course of the day, you can end up making this a 4-hour, but until that's created, you haven't even tested your 28,332. You've only tested the part of the move that's holding that. And this is where you need to be along those lines of analyzing that architecture in terms of re-entries. Where should I get it? Where should I? Because when you're showing me 5-minute candles and I'm just looking at a daily level that gets hit, alarm bells are going off in my head. Like, whoa. Like there's a lot missing here. Like you just hit a daily origin to break this move down. And you're trying to say like, what should I do based on 5-minute levels? While those 5-minute levels may be good to show you an extremely interior piece, the point is that like, look, you need to create that hourly first so the 4-hour can survive. In order to create the hourly, you need to see if there's a 15-minute rejecting and holding that. So maybe that 5-minute level could be back connected to one of those 15-minute levels. And that's where you could use that 5-minute level. But the first step here is just developing the correct architecture to say, hey, can we test 28,332? And in order to do that, you need to start looking at drawing down your levels to lower timeframes to see we hit a daily. Now we need to gain the 4 because that's your +1 minus timeframe, right? And in order to gain the 4, the hourly has to develop first. And in order for the hourly to develop, you can't be stopped by 15-minute levels, right? So there's kind of a trail that you have to follow there with +1 minus 1. And that will give you a better justification of, okay, where are my trades going and what should these entries really look like?